The great story here, for anybody willing to find it and write about it and explain it, is this vast right-wing conspiracy that has been conspiring against my husband since the day he announced for president.
That was former Secretary of State and potential 2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton defending her husband, then President Bill Clinton, after allegations surfaced of his affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky. Now, today, newly uncovered documents by the Washington Free Beacon are revealing exactly what we knew all along, that Hillary Clinton is, in fact, a ruthless, scheming politician. Now, the memo called Research on Hillary Clinton is one of the documents contained in the archives of former political science professor and close friend of Hillary's, Diane Blair. Now, the papers reveal what went on behind the scenes of Bill Clinton's infidelity, including a conversation in which Hillary described Monica Lewinsky as a, quote, narcissistic Looney Tune. Now, the memo also includes documents regarding Kathleen Willey's accusations of sexual assault by Bill Clinton, including a Drudge Report item on the story, and this handwritten note from Blair asking whether or not they should take Matt Drudge seriously. Now, ironically, 6 months later, it was, in fact, Matt Drudge who broke the Monica Lewinsky affair story. Another interesting document in the archive is this unsigned note from Bill Clinton. Now, it's unclear who this letter was addressed to, but it reads in part, quote, "I will be at the little place downstairs in the Union at 11:30. If you're not there, I'll understand, and if you are, I will." The documents go on to describe Hillary's mindset throughout her husband's presidency, including her thoughts on the necessity of a single-payer health care system. Here with reaction, oh boy, 2-on-1, two former Clinton advisors. All right, Mr. Carville, James, everyone knows them, James Carville and Lanny Davis. Look, I don't think the whole Lewinsky scandal is going to be the case, but there is something here I think worth looking at. Narcissistic Looney Tune. The bimbo eruptions battle. No, wait, hang on, James.
All right, go ahead.
My question is, if Mitt Romney is conducting a war on women by putting together binders to hire women, and these women are systematically trashed by the Clintons, will that be an issue?
Well, first of all, it was a conversation with her best friend. It wasn't like she went public or anything. It's a conversation she had with Diane Blair, who I knew and loved, and it was Hillary's best friend. That hardly, and it was something she said, I don't even understand what the kind of charge here is. She wasn't organizing a campaign against anybody. She wasn't telling Diane Blair, go out and say this or anything like that. It was a conversation between two, if you will, almost sisters.
All right, but there was a systematic effort. Lanny, you were on with me. And by the way, James, welcome aboard. You're now a Fox News contributor. We're welcome to have you. Lanny, you and I had a lot of heated battles during this time, and I don't want to relitigate that battle, but somebody would refer to this woman, narcissistic Looney Tune. Isn't that all designed to trash somebody?
Oh, who knows what she said to Diane Blair and what she meant by that. But I first of all want to welcome James to join me here at Fox. And 2 versus 1 against Hannity is way, way outbalanced, because Hannity needs a lot more on his side to be even with me.
You guys need 2.
Just me alone.
I'm fine with 2-on-1. I can handle it.
Just me alone, you have a problem. But look, Hillary Clinton was absolutely factually correct. There was a vast right-wing conspiracy. We know that Ken Starr collaborated with all of the Jones lawyers.
Lanny,
so this was a fact, and I wonder whether Sean Hannity himself will get over this whole thing that happened 15 years ago.
I knew you'd go there. It's not. I'm not relitigating, but I am saying she's a top candidate. Well, being described as somebody who is ruthless.
Oh my God!
I think there's personality differences.
Sean,
let me ask you this question.
Are men ever described as ruthless as a compliment, and women are described as ruthless as something negative? Would your wife explain that to you? Well, there's like a double standard.
You guys on the left made such a big deal over Mitt Romney having binders or resumes of women to hire.
I didn't.
Well, a lot of people did.
What people made a big deal about is when Rush Limbaugh called Sarah Fluke that name, and he said, "Oh, well, I just wouldn't have said it that way." They thought he should be more aggressive. But they, the fact that he didn't want equal pay legislation that Democrats wanted, they made a big deal about that. The fact that he wasn't strong on the sort of contraception issue, they were strong about that. There were other issues beyond that.
Is that what we've come to?
Problem with, the minimum wage, which inordinately affects women. He wasn't for that. There were any number of things, legitimate policy things that you can say that the positions that he took were not favorable to American women.
So we're basically saying now liberalism is now reduced to that that the government and the taxpayers have got to fund the $9 a month for birth control, or you don't like women.
First of all, absolutely, private insurance was the government funds, private insurance funds Viagra. Okay, why can't private insurance be mandated to fund any of it? What is y'all problem with contraception? There's something about it that you don't like? We think it's a good thing.
Go to your local CVS or Rite Aid. You can get all the contraception you want, and I hope you use it.
No, why shouldn't an employer provide that as part of health coverage? I don't understand.
That's not the argument. The argument is why should the taxpayer... If they're not having the sex, why do they have to pay the $9 a month? The taxpayer's not paying for it. The employer's insurance is paying for it. Why is the taxpayer paying for Viagra?
Can I get one word in here?
Hang on. We're going to mandate that the Catholic Church...
I don't understand y'all problem.
Let me help you out.
We're not mandating the Catholic Church. We're mandating large Catholic institutions. 98% of Catholic women practice birth control,
But that's not the teaching of the Church. The teaching of the Church, which has gone on for centuries, is that they don't... Wait a minute. If you believe in freedom of religion, they do not believe in artificial contraception. That's their deeply held belief, but the government now is forcing them to provide it.
No, it doesn't require the church to provide it. It provides large institutions
Catholic
like
charities,
Georgetown University.
Catholic hospitals.
If that is, I don't understand. I think contraception is a good thing. You guys don't like it. Yeah, but Rick
I believe in freedom of religion.
Evil.
I think our Constitution's a good thing, too.
No, it doesn't. They don't have to. It's only the large institutions. And by the way, they said they didn't have to pay for it. That these insurers said we'll provide it for free.
What part of our Constitution and freedom of religion? Lanny, you're the attorney. Help your liberal friend out here.
The woman doesn't have access to contraception.
Excuse me. A Catholic church, a Catholic hospital, a Catholic charities ought not go against their deeply held religious beliefs and be mandated by the government to provide it, Lanny.
Could I make a comment here? I much prefer having this very vigorous debate on a very serious topic. I agree with James, but you have a right to your point of view, and I respect it, Sean. But it's much better to debate this topic than why Hillary Clinton went shopping. Does that mean she's running for president? This hyped-up story about Diane Blair is thankfully not being discussed on your show in a valuable discussion about the trade-off on health care versus freedom of religion.
Lanny, one of the things I've learned, and James will tell you, we've gone out on the road, we've spoken together, we've debated together. When James Carville speaks, or Lanny Davis speaks, or Mary Madeline speaks, I always think there's some truth to it. And Mary made the suggestion in Newsmax today. She doesn't think Hillary's going to run. What's your thoughts, both of you?
I think Mary stands back. What she thinks. I think she will. Mary thinks she won't. Who knows? One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong.
So you think she is going to? You both think she's running?
I have no idea. I think she should run. She'd be a great president. I also think between Mary and James married up the same way I did.
Well, we all agree with that.
Well, we can agree on that. We'll agree with that.
All right, last question I have for both of you. Will the issue of her support for a single-payer plan, what difference does it make, comment, how big an issue will that be for her if she runs?
Can I jump in on that one, James? First of all, Medicare for all is what most Democrats thought would be the best solution. Excuse me, same thing, Medicare for all, single payer. And she ended up with the managed health care program and the private health insurance competitive program that we have today, number one. But we all said be easier to just have Medicare for all. Secondly, if you would look at Hillary Clinton's positions on the issues, you would find they're in the mainstime of the Democratic Party, and she also has a lot of support among Republicans who tell me they want her to be president.
You didn't answer the question. James, I'll give you a shot.
If she runs for president in 2006, she's going to say what the fact is. Obamacare is working fine, and we're going to make it even work better in the future. We've got a good system now, and we're off to a really good start.
All right, guys, good to see you both.
Thank you, Sean.
And I want you to know
this is great. Have me on with James again.
You did good, Sean. You did great. It was fun. Great,
great first. Appreciate it.